You're audible.
Yeah. Okay. Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, sir. Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. This is our lunch session on human relations. I'm Shmaila Nas, Assistant Professor, Lady Evan College, the University of Delhi. On behalf of OGTC, I welcome you all to the 17th International Conference on Apparel and Home Textile. The theme for the conference is Path to US $50 billion garment exports, sustainability and manufacturing excellence. I would like now welcome formally our session chairman, Mr. Parampreet Singh, sir. He is a science graduate with almost 28 years of experience in apparel business and presently working as VP operations in Empiro Exports. A very warm welcome to you, sir.
Thank you.
Now I request Mr. Parampreet Singh, sir, to kindly introduce our eminent speaker, Professor Chandan Chowdhury, sir. I hand over to you. Please take it forward. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. I hope all of you had your lunch. We had an excellent time today. Since morning, we are listening to a lot of our speakers and leaders from our industry, enlightened with their knowledge and new ideas. I assure this session will not disappoint you. We have excellent topics to discuss today. And the speakers are very intellectual and visionary in their own field. Before I introduce our first guest, I like to share, I saw his video on TEDx and I was impressed, and I was I actually admire his work, because at that time, 2018, someone talking about virtual reality, the way you can make medicines and you can make, you can test different kind of viruses and disease virtually on a virtual patient before even the medicine has been discovered. Everything came true after Corona, and we saw now pharmaceutical companies are doing it. So in a real sense, he's a visionary. And I think we will be enlightened with his knowledge on the subject, and which is related to our industry. So I welcome Mr. Professor Chandan Chowdhury. And it's a pleasure and a pride to have you on dais, sir. Professor Chandan Chowdhury is MS Mechanical from Budapest University of Technology and Economics. He is PhD from Hungarian Academy of Science and from Budapest University of Technology and Economics. He is a professor, dean, and chairman, board research, NITIE, National Institute of Industrial Engineering. He has worked as a director in the Swedish company Dassault Industrial and Financial Systems. He was a country manager in IBM. He is currently a senior associate dean and practice professor in ISB. He is executive director in MIGM and PLIM. And he is an expert at Niti Aayog for India manufacturing. Sir, we welcome you all. And we are looking forward for a great session and a very exciting day. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. The topic of my session is technology and adaptability and upskilling for a sustainable future. I think this is a very, very interesting topic. And I have drawn an agenda, which is where we are going to start with market trends. We'll talk about what do we see as a market trends. And then we'll move into the next topic, is why I believe that our operations, the way we do our operations in our companies, we need to really do an introspection. And I'll make an attempt to explain this with the help of an example from US, a big brand, and a very famous set of brands which are very famous in North America. We'll talk about them, what happened to them during pandemic, and what learning that you can take, or I can take, or all of us can take from such incidents. My major focus is going to be future of jobs. We have been doing a lot of research on this concept called future of jobs. And I will report a study which is in the apparel industry that we did. And it was a study done across India. And we'll also do an interactive quick poll. So that's what we are going to do today. Well, let's get started with the market trends. I must tell you, sustainability has become a very, very big issue, right? Also in apparel industries, today is not just about, are you delivering high quality at low cost? That's not the only conversation. That's kind of a minimal housekeeping. So your customer would like to know, and if it's a B2B brand, they would like to know your commitment to sustainability. What is your carbon footprint? So environmental issues have become very, very important. Now, the second thing I wanted to share with you is, especially because many of you are into export, and it is important to keep track of geopolitical changes. I'm not getting into details, but I think that's very, very important. And we must also make note of the fact that for several decades, we have been talking about globalization, that the entire globe has become a village. But in recent period, you actually see a lot of narrative around nationalism, right? So the process of deglobalization is gaining importance, which is not a good news, but that's what we see. You also find that your businesses are likely to be impacted with this global economic instability. And it is very important that we take cognizance of this fact. Now, another things I wanted to highlight is the demographic change. And when you, especially for a B2B company, you should not talk about only your direct customer. It is important that you look at your customer's customer, and you got to look at the demographic changes which is happening at your customer's customer side, and that will give you some good insights on how do you refine your strategy. I think it has become very, very important that we as leaders and all employees develop what we call as digital mindset. It's not about just knowing programming or knowing digital technologies. It's about, do we understand the opportunities which we have because of leveraging digital technologies? Do we understand what are the new business revenues, new revenue models that we can develop by leveraging technology? And do we understand why it's important for us to have digital mindset, but why it's important also that we are able to build digital mindset among our team members. And you find that this global sourcing, which was very, very popular in many cases, we see there are challenges in many, many processes. Offshoring, which was very popular earlier, now people have started talking about reshoring. And I think compliance is something which has become very, very important. You have to ensure that your operations take into consideration the guideline of regulatory authorities. If you're doing business in India, you got to adhere to Indian regulations. If you are doing business with your partners overseas, you need to ensure that you comply with those regulations. Many B2B customers today, they want to have complete visibility about your operations and about your supply chain. You will also find that the concept of understanding what you call as triple Ps, meaning knowing the importance of taking care of people, meaning your suppliers, your employees, your understanding the needs of your customer. It has become important. But when you develop product and services, the environmental issues have become important. So you've got to be talking not only about people, but also the planet. And finally, your business got to be profitable. So you've got to be thinking about profit. So it's people, planet, and profit. And you will find these three circles. You have a common part, which is this, what you call as sustainable business. So triple P, what you call as triple bottom line, has become very, very important. I move to the next, aspect, which is this transformation of operations. So if you look at the operations, how it was impacted during pandemic, let me take up an example from North America. And these, they are all big retail players like JCPenney. It lived for 120 years. Brooks and Brothers lived for 204 years. J. Crew Group lived for 75 years. But during pandemic, all of them became bankrupt. At the same time, at the same space, right? You have retail chains like Target, they flourished. And if you look at their market cap, during the pandemic, it actually went up. So it's very important that we take cognizance of the fact many industries, many companies, they were just not future ready, and they got badly exposed during pandemic. You also find many traditional practices that we used to say as best business practices, like just in time, like global sourcing, they all got challenged. You also find supply chain of many companies was actually not resilient. And I think it's very important that we review, we introspect, and we look at whether our operational practices need to change because the market has changed, the demand has changed. Let me give you one example. I remember I spoke about it at a OGTC conference, which was a physical conference. During the keynote address, I gave the example of why many organizations are trying to do automation. Now you have this example of a Chinese company setting up their operations in North America. And instead of just employing many human, they deployed 330 robots. And you must remember, it's not just for reducing manpower. These robots are deployed because it helps you to increase your productivity. And it helps you to deliver higher volume. So in this particular company, the T-shirt making process of the farm, various things that you talk about, like arranging and cutting fabric, like sewing seams, like adding sleeves, like post-production quality inspection, right? They all are done by the robots. Now, let me give you an example from India, right? And I will also come to the apparel industry. But before that, let me share with you a study that I've recently done, which was to understand future of jobs, future of skills. And we carried out this study in an automotive industry. The words that you see as big words, right? Size of the words are bigger. Now, these are the kind of jobs our study shows are going to be popular in future, will have demand in future. You can see artificial intelligence, machine learning. If you have knowledge on them, they're going to be important. Data analytics will be extremely useful because you gather massive amount of data. How do you leverage advanced analytics to convert data into insights is going to be important. Creativity will continue to be an important thing in your kind of industry, in apparel industry. I think jobs that involve innovation, that involve creativity, they will continue to be important. And I think cybersecurity is also a very important aspect. And we believe in many areas, you will find the skills to solve not simple problem, but complex problem. And we also see in many jobs, you will find robots playing an important role. Now, let me go to the next part of this study. What are the kind of jobs that our study showed will probably get replaced? Now, you will not see routine jobs. Routine jobs would get automated or will get replaced by robot. A lot of physical labor will get replaced. You will find that quality control, a lot of quality control will become automated, right? Leveraging concepts like augmented reality. You will find manual check is likely to disappear. And we believe, we are likely to see many jobs in the apparel industry and many industries which are repetitive would get replaced. Now let me get to the next part of the study. I think this is very interesting. We'll also talk about what are our findings for apparel industry. So in general, there is a concept which was introduced by one of the authors. In fact, two of them conceived this concept, Chowdhury and H.M. James. They introduced a concept called missing link. But before this missing middle or missing link, their studies showed that many jobs across industries will be taken over by machines. And they also said that there will be jobs which will remain with human. But why this framework is interesting, this also talks about many jobs which do not exist today, right? Yeah, new jobs will emerge. Now let's look at in the context of apparel industry, in the context of India, our study that we conducted, our study showed, in this particular study, we actually looked at 103 job profiles defined by National Skill Development Corporation, which represent 80% of textile workforce in our country. Now, we also did a deep dive in apparel industry, but I would right now in apparel industry, out of 103 job roles, we had 40 job roles that actually were related to apparel industry. So our study overall showed that 34% of the jobs will be taken over by machines. That's number one. Our study shows about 29% of the jobs will remain with human, but there'll be a measured percentage of the job, which is about 36.9% of the jobs, 38 job roles out of 103. Our study shows that will be new type of jobs, which will involve collaboration between machines and human. In some of those jobs, machine will lead, meaning machine will be the team leader. And in some of those jobs, it will be humans will be leading. Now, I actually collected some data from OGTC member, and Mr. Uppal and Colonel Kapul, they were very kind. So whatever I'm showing you now is based on data collected from 12 companies. But out of 12 companies, the respondents, right? We had 2 respondents from PM Pro Exports, and we had 2 respondents from Orient Fashion, and we had 1 from Niti. So these responses were kind of complete. We could not use the other data because those responses were incomplete. And for the responses I'm showing you right now, the people who responded spent around 20 minutes in filling in the survey. It means they really spent some time, they thought about it before they responded, and I believe they filled in the survey diligently and carefully. But our study shows that this kind of survey, if you want to really derive useful insights, you need to form a cross-functional team, and that cross-functional team need to look at each of the questions, do debate, do deep dive, think about what's happening in other other companies, then fill in, right? Now, let's do a quick survey. I would request all of you to open your web browser. I would request all of you to get into something called www.menti.com, and it will ask for a code. I'll repeat this, but let me also get connected, right? I have a set of questions. You will find it very interesting because you will see the responses are dynamically converted into colorful graphs. I would like all of you to get connected. Please go to www.menti.com. You can see it at the top, www.menti.com. You can use your mobile phone, you can use your laptop, or you can use your iPad, but even a mobile phone is fine. Just go to www.menti.com, right? And it will ask for a code. Type in this code, which is 798-93871. Don't give any space, just type in. And you know, I can see there is one person who has already participated. I would encourage everybody who are there on the call, right? It will be extremely interesting, right? We are having a set of questions, and in the end, you know, if I see all of you are really actively participating, then in the end of the study, I'm going to actually offer that ISB could, you know, me personally, we could actually carry out a study, you know, among all the members of OGTC, and will not charge anything for that. And but I think, you know, it will be extremely important that the people who are participating, they have the passion. Param, can you say how many people are there right now among the participants? I think there are only, how many people are there? Is it only few people or total participants? I see 7 people got connected and responded. How many can the organizers confirm? How many total people are there who are right now connected on this call?
The attendants are more than 100.
Yeah, so I think it'll be very interesting. I can assure all of you who are participating, and I can see a lot of smart people. 9 people have already responded, right? And it's not difficult. Just pick up your phone. If you have a smartphone, just pick up your phone and type in www.menti.com, right? And it will ask for a code. Punch in the code that you see on the screen, right? 798-93871. So type in that. Very good. I can see, you know, 10 people are already connected. You know, Param will give another a minute or so just to see, you know, if we can motivate others to participate. I think, you know, you will find it very interesting, right? Yeah, I can share with you that the next set of questions, all of them are related to your industry, right? So I can see 12 people, you know, have already logged in, but we see many people who, the number has gone up to 13. We should at least cross. What should be the number we should cross, Param, if there are 100 people? Right?
Yeah, it's more than 100, and I think let's wait for 2 minutes and let's see.
Okay, and the next set of questions, I can assure you, they're going to be very, very interesting, right? And if you do not participate later on, you'll regret. So I think, you know, I can see 17 people have already done, right? And that's how world is going to be, right? You will not be sitting always physically in one place and having discussion, right? It is going to be, the world of future is going to be hybrid. And I think it is extremely important that we learn how to engage in an environment which is going to be more and more digital, right? In fact, many of your B2B customers, I'm sure a lot of your engagement have become virtual, right? In fact, we were conducting a session yesterday, which was a physical session at our Hyderabad campus. And I had a session for the same group, and they were from a leading organization from Tata Steel. They were, you know, a set of very bright people. And I had engagement at our Mohali campus. You can see in the picture, there are two buildings. You see left side, Hyderabad campus of ISB, and right side, Mohali campus. I conducted the session from our, studio, and everybody was connected online, switched on their camera, and experience was the same as a physical class. So 21 people responded. I think I move on. The number is going up. It would have been good since the number is more than 100, at least 50% people participating. So Param, I will look for your signal to go to the next one, right? Whenever you say done, I will move to the next question.
I think let's wait for another 30 seconds and then we can proceed.
Okay, so Param has given all of you maybe another few seconds. Please get connected. It's good to see at least there are 22 people who are not scared, okay, to, pick up their phone and punch in their views, because it doesn't matter is your answer correct or not wrong. It's more about, that wanting to participate, having a viewpoint, sharing the viewpoint frankly. Anyway, we are not capturing any personal data. We do not know who is replying what, all right? We are seeing everything at a consolidated manner. In fact, I also wanted to promise to Param that, Param, I will take a download of this graph and share it with, OGTC Council, with Uppal, you, Colonel Kapoor, and you will have this insights. And your name is not captured. Your email ID is not captured. It's just that you are getting this view dynamically, right? Imagine views of 26 people being captured on a real-time manner, and the data is converted into some insights. I think it's very interesting, right? And I can see, Param, the number going up to 27, right? So I will wait for your signal to go to the next slide, right?
I think we have a result, Professor Chandan Chowdhury. I think that's good enough. It shows that the people are talking about that the consensus is that it's replaceable. This job is replaceable by automation or probably AI.
Right. So I move to the next question. Our next question is about, do you think the job profile of sampling coordination is replaceable, partially replaceable, not replaceable? You just, pick whatever you feel is, your view, right? Again, I must emphasize, we are not capturing any of your personal information. We are just converting all the responses during this poll into some insights. That's what we are doing right now, right? I can see 10 people have already responded, right? And it'll be good if you move quick, right? The number is going up, Param, it's good. I think now it's faster. I can see 13 people have already responded, right? And the process is very simple, right? Go to www.menti.com. You can see at the top, and it will ask for a code, and just punch in that code, and code is there on the screen, 798-93871. And that's it. I mean, I can see 21 people have already responded, right? Number gone up to 22. And I will wait for Param's signal before moving in. Last time it was 27 people that we had. You would at least expect those 27 people at least to reply. Then you get a relative feel of it. So whenever you give me a signal, I'll go to the next question, Param.
Okay, I think 25 have already responded. So
go to the next question, right?
Yeah.
So the next question is, do you think that job profile of storekeeper is replaceable? And you will find in every plant I've seen, you have got the storekeepers. Do you think that job in near future, those people can be trained to do something more exciting, or you think that, that's not replaceable? So I see now we are even faster. We already got 10 responses, and let's probably, give a few more seconds. And Param, whenever you give me the signal, I'll go to the next question.
Sure, I think people are participating, and it's great to be engaging in the in the presentation. So great. We already touched 24, 25.
26, I move to the next
Okay.
question. Next question is, do you think the job profile of a cutting supervisor is replaceable, or you think, it's not replaceable? Do you think it's partially replaceable? I can see 10 people have already responded, the number going up. Please feel free, right? Even if you have not responded to the previous question, don't hesitate, just log in. Just log in, right? It's an era of experience. We go to experience, right? In fact, in our school, our education system, we ensure that the learning is experiential, right? And you can have that learning only if you participate. You are hearing Param stating that, it's good that it is interactive. You can see your responses real time. I think it's very exciting.
Yes.
And I'm happy the number went up to 29, right?
Yeah.
Very good. In fact, there is a concept we teach these days in management called digital mindset. It's not about knowing programming in Python. It's not about knowing artificial intelligence. It's about understanding that there are new possibilities because of technology. So I think, I'm happy the number gone up to 30. We move to the next question. Do you think the job profile of Qatar CAM, right? Computer-aided manufacturing is replaceable, partially replaceable, or not replaceable, right? So that's the question. I'm so happy. Param, you can see now it's so much faster, right?
Absolutely.
It's so much faster now, right? And I think that willingness to experiment, and not to have apprehension about things which are unknown. One thing is very clear: digital skills in future will not be niche skills. It will be mandatory skill. Some degree of, friendliness to participate and interact in digital form, I think is going to be very, very important. And I would soon move to the next question, right? Our next question is equally interesting. And again, you will find it's relevant to the OGTC, manufacturing environment, right? And I can actually see already 28 people have participated. At one point of time, we had touched 30. It will be good if you can cross that 30, but I move into the next question. The next question is, do you think the job profile of fabric cutter is replaceable, partially replaceable, not replaceable? So that's the question we are trying to understand. And I can see already, quite a few people have responded. And I move to the, I will give another few seconds. And I have already promised to you that, if you all participate in this, I'm going to share this deck with Param. I will take a download of this entire, digital file and send it as an email to Param. Param, later on, I will take your email ID so that I'm able to send this to you.
Sure.
And Colonel Kapoor and, Upal's email IDs I already have. I move to my next question, right? I can see the number of people who are responding going up. And we already have 27 responses, right? Others, don't hesitate, log in and participate. Next question, right? Do you think the job profile of a pattern master, right? You have this role of pattern master. Do you think is replaceable, partially replaceable, not replaceable? What are our views, right? So that's what we are trying to understand. We are just capturing your views. And again, you as an individual or your organization, we are not capturing the details. We don't know, right? So, we have 11 people who already participated, right? I expect others also to give their responses, at least those of you, right, who have already participated. I think it'll be good if you continue. Others who did not, you still have chance for the remaining question, right? That get connected to www.benti.com. It will ask for a PIN, type in that PIN 79893871. So I move on to the next question, right? I can see already 29 people have responded, right? It will be good if others also participate. But my next question is on your screen. The question is, do you think the job profile of tailoring is replaceable, partially replaceable, or not replaceable? So the question is tailoring. That's what we are trying to understand. And I can see the speed, Param. I can see the speed now so much faster, right?
Sure.
I think people are getting used to, right? We have already 12 responses. So I want to move on to my next question. So please punch in your thoughts, right? I'm moving to the next question soon. Param, you need to give me the signal. I will go to the next question, right?
I think really appreciate participants actually putting an effort and helping us to just collect this data and the survey. I think we can move now to the next question.
Yeah. So the next question is, do you think the job profile of line supervisor, right? Stitching, right? Line supervisor stitching is replaceable, partially replaceable, or not replaceable? So that's the question that we are trying to understand, right? And again, I will wait for Param's signal to move to the next question. Right? Please don't hesitate, but participate, right? And I can see already, you have 15 people who already gave their responses. I think you have a lot of people, Param, in your OGTC members, among the OGTC members who are charged up, who want to give their views, who want to interact, who want to share their ideas. And I think that's going to be very important in future. That's going to be a very important skill, right?
It's a great platform
Yeah.
for, I think OGTC has been excellent. I think like a North Star to industry, because they have guided us and we are like-minded people and learners. We are competing with each other, but more collaborating, I will say, right word.
Right.
And it's
And
been
I can see some new people have already added 31. I move to the next question. The next question is, do you think the job profile of sewing machine operator, right, NEAT, is replaceable? So that's the question. In fact, we are coming towards the end of our survey. So please ensure you participate, right? Then I will get to summing up our conversation with a couple of insights, a couple of takeaways, and if you want to really identify the future of jobs among the OGTC members, what you should be doing, and how from ISB we could support you, right? Because we want to contribute to nation building. And I think if you look at the algebraic sum of export that OGTC member does, it's not a very small number. I don't know the current number. What will be approximate export in terms of, US dollar, Param? Is it $500 million?
I don't have a figure right now, but
right.
yes,
So
45 members are there, and then people support from outside also.
Okay. So I go to the next one. That is, do you think the job profile of hand embroiderer, right, is replaceable, partially replaceable, not replaceable? In fact, I was pretty impressed. I remember one of the respondents, who is a lady, in my quick study that I had done yesterday and day before yesterday, she actually also made her comment, right? She not only said what is her response, but she said, I am saying this because of A, B, C, D. It was pretty impressive. So Param, you may please give me signal. I'll go to the next question.
Sure. I think 719 has responded.
Yeah, so Should I go to the next one? We already have 26,
Yes,
27 people, right? Now we are talking about record keeper, right? So do you think the job profile of record keeper is replaceable, partially replaceable, not replaceable, right? So we are talking about record keeper, right? Now, so I'll wait for another few seconds before I go to the next question, right? I see 10 people have already responded. Maybe I move to the next question. Should I move to the next question, Param?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think.
So do you think the job profile of export marketing and documentation is replaceable? Well, you all do a lot of export, right? There's this whole export marketing and documentation. Do you think is replaceable or is it not replaceable? That's the question that we have. I would encourage all of you to give your views. I think it's a very interesting question, especially because OGTC members, you are big time exporter. I only hope if there are many more clusters in our country in different sectors where there is this spirit of both collaboration and competition, right? I must tell you, I'm pretty impressed. I go to the next question. Do you think the job profile of production supervisor is replaceable? That's the question. So it's about production supervisor. What do you think about your production supervisors? You do have production supervisor in all your plant. What may be the algebraic sum of plants you have, Param? Is it 100? Is it less than that? Total number of plants?
Total number of clients.
Across all OGTC member?
Yeah, of course.
Like you?
Sure, yeah, more than 100.
Okay, more than 100. So I move to my next question. And I think the next question is about industrial engineering, right? Do you think the job profile of industrial engineering, as they are in your organization today, are they replaceable or they're not replaceable? So that's the question that we have. And then I move to my, that was the last question. So let me go back to my presentation, sum up a couple of interesting things. And Param, you may guide me if you are able to see my, slide. I'm getting into my last slide, which is the takeaways, right? So our conversation that we had, right? We spoke about there will be a lot of jobs which will be hybrid. In some of those jobs, humans will lead. And in some of those jobs, machines will lead. So you will not be competing with machines, right? You will be collaborating with machine. So when you say team building, it will not be human and human. It's going to be human machine, human robot. And I must tell you that robots are very, very objective, right? They will not have a bias against you. They will not say, I don't want to work with you, right? So I think that this is one message I want to give. And you have seen real data from textile industry. And I must have visited more than 40 plants, textile plants, might have interacted with few hundreds of them. I'm a firm believer that Indian textile industry, and especially apparel industry, has the promise to multiply, right? Well, they need some more support from the government, but I think they have the promise to multiply. And we need to really identify this hybrid jobs. And you cannot do it by a single person. You have to collaborate, right? So OGTC members should form cross-functional teams, right? You go to form cross-functional teams to objectively identify hybrid jobs, right? What is called as future of jobs. And I'll be personally very happy to support you in this exercise to identify the future of jobs. That's number one. number two, since I also interact with many leading brands, and in future, sustainability is going to be a very important thing. And we are doing a lot of research on sustainable operational practices. So your carbon footprint is going to play a very important role in the decision-making of B2B brands. So understanding the impact of sustainability on the operational practices of OGTC members, we'll be very happy to support you. So over to you, Param.
Yeah, thank you, Professor Chandan Chowdhury. We really thank for your presentation. And I hate to admit, but 20 years back, I never thought beside learning about apparel trade, manufacturing, marketing, designing, industrial engineering or compliance, we need anything more than that. But this topic is so relevant that robotics, AI, data, analytical skills, you need to know everything if you need to be ahead of the curve. And to make your business sustainable, you need to learn and new things and how we can integrate this technology with your organization and be more efficient. I think really it was enlightening, and really thank you for your work and your presentation. And hope we will see you again in the coming time for more sessions. Thank you once again.
Sure, all the best. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Parampreet Singh sir and Professor Chowdhury sir for joining us. Thank you, delegates, for joining the HR session. I hope your knowledge has been expanded by the session. Now, I request you all to join the next session, which is on managing team dynamics. We need to join another tab. We will meet on the other side. Thank you so much. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Yes.